Hey guys, what's up? Ben here from NoCodeTribe.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build this custom hamburger menu in Webflow using the Navbar component, div blocks, and interactions. Let's get started. So before jumping into Webflow, let's first have a look at what's going on when I play with this component. So as you can see, when I hover over the menu button, the hamburger menu, I have a first interaction on hover. I have those small white parts moving from right to left. So that's our first interaction. And the second interaction is when I click on the menu. I have the top bar rotating, the bottom bar rotating, and the color changing from red to green. So that's our second interaction. First interaction on hover, second on the menu open. Cool, let's now jump into Webflow. So we are now into the Webflow Designer where you can see I created two parts. So the top part is the template, this one, and the bottom part is where I'm gonna rebuild the menu, the hamburger menu. Okay, let's first have a look at the template. So inside this template, what do I have? I have a Navbar component. This Navbar component is the one you can find on the element panel here at the bottom, this Navbar component. So what I'm going to do is select the bottom section, go to element and click the Navbar element. Okay, here is my Navbar. It looks very different than the one, the end result, but that's totally okay. Let's go to the section, Navbar. I'm going to give it a class name of Navbar. Oh. And let's see in the template what did I set. So layout, display, flexbox, direction vertical, align center, justify center. So I go to my Navbar. I'm going to put display flexbox, direction vertical, align center, justify center. Okay, go back to my template. Sizing width of 100 pixels, height of 80 pixels. So I'll go back to my Navbar, width of 100 pixels, height of 80 pixels. Okay, as you can see, it's moving around. That's totally okay. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to place it here in the center. You don't have to do this, but for the video, it's going to be better. So I'll go back to my section and display flex align center. Okay, good. I'll go back to my Navbar. So what do I have inside this Navbar? I have a container, and inside this container I have a brand link, a nav menu with 3 links inside, and a menu button with an icon inside. Do I need all those elements? No. If I go to my template, I will open the nav component and I can see only the menu button, hamburger menu. So what I'm going to do is select this one and drag it under the Navbar, select the container and delete. Okay, now I'll select the Navbar, go to the settings here and select desktop. That's because by default the hamburger menu is not visible on desktop, only on tablet, mobile landscape and mobile portrait. So that's very important not to forget to activate it here on desktop. Okay, now let's have a look at what's inside this menu button hamburger menu. I have 3 div blocks, and inside each of them I have another div block. So what I'm going to do is go to my project, menu button. What do I have inside? An icon. I can delete this, I don't need it. I'm going to place 3 div blocks. So I have 1 div block here, copy, paste. Now I have 3 div blocks. So, okay, you can see this gray area here. It's actually the background color of the Navbar. So I'm going to go to the Navbar, styling, and at the bottom I'm gonna choose transparent background color, so I don't have this gray background. Okay, let's go back to my div blocks. So in the template, the top bar is So I have a margin 5 and 5 top bottom. So I'm going to put that on. So 5. So 5 and 5. Okay, top bottom. A width of 50 pixels and height of 4 pixels. So I'm going to put this 50, height of 4, and what else? Position relative, and background color of red, and radius of 6 pixels. So I'm going to put the position relative, background color of red, and the border radius of 6 pixels. That looks pretty similar on top and bottom. Okay. So okay. So now what I'm going to do is delete those two here and copy paste. So it's easier and faster to get those 3 bars. Now I'm going to give it some names. So this one is the top bar, middle bar, and bottom bar. So I'm going to give it the same name down there. So I have now the top bar. This one, as you can see, because I did copy paste, so all 3 got the name top bar. So what I have to do now is duplicate class and rename it middle bar. If I select the last one, same, duplicate class and name it bottom bar. Okay, cool. Now let's add the second div block, which is inside each of them. So the top bar hover, let's add this one down there. Go back to the element panel div block, and now I have inside here the second div block. I'm going to call it top bar hover, and let's see what styling they got. Okay, width 10 pixels, height of 100%, position absolute. Okay, let's do that. Top hover 10 pixels, height of 100%, and position absolute. What else? Okay, position absolute, 10 pixels, margin minus 10 pixels on the right. So let's do this, minus 10 and 0 on the top. So as you can see, it's positioned now here on the right side of the bar, hidden on the side. That's exactly what we need. What else? Color white background. Let's do this. The white background, not transparent. I want it white. That's it. Let's do the same with the middle bar. So I'm gonna just copy and paste, and same as we did before, I'm gonna duplicate the class and call it the middle bar hover, and I will do the same for the bottom bar. Duplicate bottom bar hover. All right, so we now have the whole structure, the whole components we need for this hamburger menu. Let's now play with interactions. That's the most fun part of the project. So as you can see here on my template, I have 2 elements with interactions. Those small icons here, it means interactions. So first I have one interaction on the menu, hamburger menu, and a second interaction on the Navbar component here. If I go to my project, finished project, here is the first interaction on hover. I can see the small parts moving from right to left. That's the hover interaction. And if I click on it, I get the cross and the new color. That's the Navbar opens interaction. So let's go back to Webflow. First, I'm going to create the hover interaction on the menu button. So select this one, interaction, element trigger plus mouse hover. On hover, I want to start an animation. Click the plus. I'm going to name it hover on menu. Oh, And let's have a look how we built it on the template. So I'm going to select this, close this, select this one, and so here is the template interaction. Let's have a look inside what's going on. So I have the top bar hover, so which is the small white part here. So I have the top bar hover, middle bar hover, and bottom bar hover moving minus 60 pixels in 0.4 seconds. And there is a delay between the top, middle, and bottom of 0.05 seconds. Okay, let's create this in my project. So yeah, close this, menu button, mouse hover. This is my new interaction here. So let's, now before I click the plus, I have to select the element I want to trigger. So I want to trigger the top bar hover here. That's the one, that's the component I want to move from this position to the left. So I select this one, I click the plus, I want to move it. Duration, I want to 0.4 seconds. Easing is in and out. And move minus 60 pixels. So all the way to the left here. Nice. I'm gonna select this middle bar hover, click the here, this plus here, move 0.4 is in and out, minus 60 pixels, and here I have to add a delay of 0.005 seconds. So it starts 50 milliseconds after the top bar hover to create this this effect of this one starting first and this one starting second and this one third. Okay, this is okay for the middle bar. I'll do now for the bottom bar. I click this plus here, move, delay of 0.1, so so 50 milliseconds plus 50 milliseconds, it's 100 milliseconds. Duration 4 is an out, minus 60 pixels. Okay, if I preview it, how does it look? It looks okay. That's what we need. Nice. Okay, now we're done with the on-hover interaction. What we need to do next is to define the on-hover out interaction. So if I go to my finished project, so this part is done. This where I'm hovering and this white part hovering from right to left, this is done. What I need to do next is this, the white part moving from left to right, back to the initial position. So if I go to Webflow, on hover out, I'm gonna create a new interaction, plus hover out menu. I'm gonna close this and go to the template, see what's going on. So on out, what do I see? I see the top bar hover, middle bar hover, and bottom bar hover. They are all moving back to 0 with 0.4 seconds. And this is a delay for the middle and bottom one, like on hover. So that's gonna be pretty simple. I don't actually need to, if I need to, click back to this one, mouse hover. I don't actually need to create a new one. I'm just gonna duplicate the existing one because it's the same components. So this one, I'm gonna delete this one, select the hover on and duplicate it, and select the duplicated one and rename it hover out menu. Okay, now I just need to select this component and change here the value back to 0, middle 0, bottom 0. Good. Now if I go to the preview here, that's exactly what we need. A nice hover interaction. I like the template. Nice. Okay, now let's play with the navbar component. So let's go back to the finished project. So as you can see, when I click, what do I need to get? I get the top bar to rotate this way, like 45 degrees. I have the bottom bar rotating 45 degrees on the opposite direction. I have the middle bar disappearing, and I have the color of the top and bottom bar switching from red to green. So that's all we have to set for the navbar open menu interaction. If I go to the template here, I'm in the interaction. Navbar opens, here is my menu opens interaction for the template, and this is all we need to recreate to get the nice interaction on menu opens. Okay, navbar. I'm going to close this one here. Navbar element trigger. It's a navbar opens here. So that's why we used the navbar component. So if you don't use the navbar components, you cannot use here this interaction. It's going to be gray and you cannot select it. So that's why I advise always, when you create a custom hamburger menu, always to use the navbar components, the one you can find here on the element panel. This one here. Okay, good. Let's go back to navbar, element trigger, navbar opens, menu opens, start an animation, plus I want the menu open. Yeah, let's make it simple. Good. Let's go to the template. Let's have a look what's going on. Navbar. Okay, first let's do the cross. So I want the top bar and the bottom bar to do a cross. So how do we do that? So top bar, I need to rotate it 45 degrees on the Z axis, 0.2 seconds. So let's do this. Navbar. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of open and close here because it's a bit tricky, but I hope you guys can follow. Okay. This is my new interaction for my new project. Menu open. Plus. No. I have to select the element. So I want the top bar to rotate. So I select the top bar plus rotate duration 0.2. On the Z axis, I want 45 degrees. Okay, nice. Now, what else? I want the bottom bar at the same time. So here is the plus. I want to rotate it 0.2, same duration, minus 45 degrees. So it goes on the opposite direction. And yes, that's good. So if I preview, I say that's not really good. That's because we also need the top bar and the bottom bar to move to create a nice cross here in the middle. So let's have a look at the template, how I did that. Navbar, menu opens, navbar opens. Okay. Top bar rotate, this one is done. Top bar move, it's the one we need to create. So let's see what's going on in there. So duration 0.2, X axis we need minus 5 pixels, and on the Y it's 7 pixels. And for the bottom one, bottom bar move 0.2, X minus 5, and Y minus 10. So minus 5, 7, and minus 5, 10. Good, let's go back to here. Okay, let's scroll. Navbar opens, menu opens, top bar, we need to move 0.2, minus 5, 7 pixels here, that's good. For the bottom bar, move x was -5 and -10 for y, duration 2. So if I preview now, okay, now you can see I have a nice cross in the middle. Okay, cool. Now let's go back to the template. Let's see what's next to do. So Navbar opens. So top bar rotate, done. Top bar move, down. Middle bar opacity, that's what we have to do next. Bottom bar move, down. Bottom bar rotate, down. Okay, let's now play with the middle bar opacity. So what we want is the middle bar to disappear in 0.1 second, opacity to 0, so it disappears, and I don't see it anymore. So let's go to the navbar. Close this. Navbar, menu opens here, menu open. I'm going to select the middle bar, and I want it to go opacity in 0.1 seconds. I want to go to opacity 0. I preview. That's exactly what I need. Cool. Now I think what's left is the background colors. So if I go back to the template, I see, yeah, that's the only one there. Top bar background color, I want to switch it from red to this green here in 0.1 seconds, and bottom bar same. So nav bar, I close this, nav open, menu open, and I want the top bar plus, I want the top bar to get a background color of green in 0.1 seconds. The same for the bottom bar, so I take the bottom bar, background color green in 0.1 seconds. So now if I preview, what do I get? That looks pretty good. Let's have a look in the preview here. Okay, this we have to get rid of the gray area here, but that looks all right. Yeah, okay. Now we have to create the menu close, the menu closes interaction. So let's go to here, start an animation. I want to create a new animation, menu close, menu closes, and yeah, let's go to the template, have a look at what's going on. Close this template, navbar closes, that's the one we're going to copy. So how does it look? Top bar rotate, top bar move, top bar rotate, bottom bar move, bottom bar rotate, top bar, that's, so as you can see, that's exactly the same transform and the same components than the menu opens, but with different here, different valued. So what we're going to do is, like we did before, navbar opens here. So this one I just created, I can actually delete, and I'm gonna select the menu open and duplicate it here, rename it menu closes, and here I have all the elements. I just need to change the value, and that's it. So it's like super fast. This one is the top bar rotate. So top bar rotate, I want to rotate it back to 0. Bottom bar background color, so what do I need? I want the back to red. Top bar background color, I want it back to red. Middle bar opacity, I want it back to 100%. Bottom bar move, I want to move to original position. So original is 0 pixels here, 0 pixels there. Top bar move, same. 0 pixel, 0 pixel. And bottom bar rotate, I want it to rotate back to origin, so 0 degrees. If I go to preview, how does it look now? That looks pretty much all right. Yeah, just have to get rid of this gray area here. It's actually the background of the menu button here, which is, so if I go to the settings here, I open menu, you can see here is the gray area. And to get rid of it, I need to go to styling. If I see the open here, that means I can change the color when the menu is open. So I go to the bottom to background color and force it to transparent. Good. Now it's gone. If I go to, so I'm going to close this. Go to preview, and here you go. That's it. One thing we can notice is when I close the menu, there is a delay for the opacity of the middle bar. Here, opacity is straight at the same time as the rotation. Here, it's delayed. So to correct that, I will go to Navbar, interaction, Navbar opens, menu closes, and I need to put a delay on the opacity of this one. So I'm going to put delay of 0.1. That should be okay. Let's go to preview. That's it. That is exactly what we need, and exactly the same as the template. Well, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys got to learn some new stuff. If you want to find more Webflow components, templates, interactions you can clone on your website for free, go visit nocodetribe.com, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'm going to try to post as often as possible now. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.